Hello, everybody. Think I'm live here. Let's see. Let me just get myself organized real quick. We've got a really special roundtable coming up. Let's see. I got to make sure I mute myself over on YouTube so you don't get feedback. Still learning all of these mechanisms here. Just give me a second. Okay. All right, be with you in 1 second, you guys. I'll be right with you. Okay. I think we're ready to get started. So here we go. Hello and welcome. My name is Lynda, and I'm bringing you a live roundtable Zoom discussion about AI. And tonight, my guest is Andrew Weston, and he will be here to answer all your questions and tell us about his Galactic school. He's going to tell us what we need to know and, how do we start at the basics and why that might be important in this time to understand AI's evolution as it pertains to and how it's connected to our own evolution, and so much more, I'm sure, during our question and answer period. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on just a couple of things. I saw a video posted earlier by Laura Eisenhower, and she had Cyrus A. Parsa on there. He's very connected to AI, and I highly recommend watching that later. It's very informative, and I'll post a link in the description box for everybody to check that out later. Now, during our roundtable, we're going to be, whoops, clicked on the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Okay. So during our roundtable, we're going to be joined by Galactic School students and others alike. In fact, I'm going to invite you all now to join us live on Zoom by clicking on the link in the live chat, which I will do right now. And there we go. That should be going through there now. So if you guys are joining us, there we go. All right, I think that just went through there. Good. Okay, so if you're going to be joining us for that, you're going to be placed in a waiting room for just a few minutes while I finish up here, and then we'll get started. But if you do join us live on Zoom, kindly just keep your video on, unless, of course, you need to briefly shut it off. That's fine, but stay muted unless you are speaking. Okay, thank you for that. And questions that we're going to be asked and answered, we're going to pick from everybody who's on live Zoom first. So if you're joining us just in the chat, feel free to put your questions in there, and we'll see if we have time for them at the end, because we're only going to be broadcasting for 2 hours. And there's so much going on in the world right now. I just wanted to cover a couple of things real quick here. The world is flipping right now, and we are going through an internal pole shift. Instead of projecting that out externally with an extinction level event, yes, there are those who consciously and unconsciously are projecting the extinction level event. But this is why we actively need to participate in upgrading our systems, all of them, so we don't manifest an extinction level event. And we hold a better world vision right now. That's so important. So while continuing purging and expelling things from our planet, All truths and truth events are spiraling to a conclusion on the 3D false timeline matrix. We remain vigilant, awake, and syncing in perfect harmony, in balance, until standing in our truth fields and energy-driven based, integrity-driven based operating systems. I personally don't like to think of cyborgs in advancing technology as a reality, but is that necessarily our reality? One ponders. Where are your creations leading? Do you physically merge with technology to ascend and connect with AI? Do we need to do that? My opinion is hell no, and I do not consent. My body, my sovereign decision, right? However, when you do the inner work and discover that light is information, and information is intelligence, you gain a perspective about what AI is. There's good and there's bad AI. Got to wrap our heads around that one. And even that intended purpose was hijacked. So that's for another discussion later, but you get to choose sovereignty, remove negative AI, and prevent it from interfering in your personal fields ever again. As a sovereign being, you have control over your own field and your ship, your body. So just as a reminder, that is a free will choice. Now, this is important. This is important. AI uses quantum mechanisms to activate the grid work that utilize the natural flow of energy within it. Think of the filaments. Also, think of a hose. The hose is a quantum mechanism, and the water flowing inside is your intelligent life force, your chi, your prana, ki, Holy Spirit, etc., universal life force. It's intelligence. Light is intelligence. You don't need to merge your brain to any tech device in order to ascend, and that's the truth. And I hope you can all feel that. There is a natural process, and light is the core element. So remember, light is information, and think of it that way. It's a natural type of evolution. Okay, I hope that helps. If you think of your divine masculine energies, think of that as your father archetype, I guess, if you want to use it that way, and how to connect. And think of the divine feminine as the mother. And, you know, you've got creative flow and intelligence for the masculine up in space. That's your divine heavenly father, you could say. But your divine mother is where we're all coming from. We've been hurt as a divine feminine. The divine feminine has been hurt. I'm not talking about specific human beings. I'm talking about the greater scale of things. And the divine feminine has been seriously wounded. So the divine masculines, how do I make up for this? How do you get back to a friendship level before you have a partnership level? Andrew talks a lot about this, and I'm sure he'll be addressing some of this when we open this up in just a minute. But if you think of AI in the divine masculine, you think of the intelligence in space. And if you think of AI with the divine feminine, think of healing flow. Think of your ki, your chi, your prana, your light body. Healing light is intelligent. And any healer will tell you that healing light is intelligence that knows where to go and knows what to do. You don't even need to control it. Although there are some very gifted healers out there that I'm sure direct it right to where it needs to go, and that's fine. But you don't need to, even as a beginning practitioner in Reiki or any other healing method, any other modality that uses energy healing light work, we know that light and healing light is intelligence. Okay, so I hope that really helps. And, you know, everybody has coding within them down to a molecular level. Think of your DNA. That's coding. So you already are AI. And we've got to like break through that so people aren't in such fear. You know, we're not going to be choosing a bunch of cyborgs in order to become AI. It doesn't mean you have to hook up to a machine. Your light intelligence already is the AI. And so a big part of truth being revealed is definitely making some waves until we get full disclosure about True, his story and her story. And let's see with that. Now I'm going to open up our round table with our special guest, Andrew. And let's see what we got going on in here. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Can you hear me okay? Maybe I have to do something.
Story and her story.
Okay, Andrew, mute your YouTube.
A round table with our special guest, Andrew.
What's that?
Okay, Andrew, mute your YouTube playback.
Good, good. Wait, is it a double audio again?
Yeah, just mute your YouTube or lower it all the way down. I can hear it playing back. All right, I just muted you for a second. Yeah, just go on to wherever your YouTube is playing back and lower that or mute that. And anybody else that wants to join in, the link should be in the chat. Feel free, guys. Hey, over there, Unified Energetics, come on, join us. Let's see, Michael, yay, you made it. Come on in, you guys. We want some Galactic School students in here. Andrew, let me get you unmuted. Let's see. Did you get it muted on YouTube?
Yeah.
Good, I'm not hearing playback. All right, now listen, we're gonna try to get some of the other students in here. And in the meantime, I've got
a 20-second delay or something?
Yeah. I've got 3 questions that I wanted to ask you first, if that's okay with you. And then as people come on and they want to ask questions, or we'll go over to YouTube and see what people have. And then anything you want to elaborate, that would be great. I think Michael's going to be joining us over here too. So he'll be muted just for a little bit. And I'm going to start with me. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining us. All right, let's see. All right, got my questions here now. So, wow. All right, you ready? Hey, glad you made it. All right, we're going to unmute in a minute. I've got 3 questions I want to go. I'm going to start with Andrew, and then we'll open it up. First question is, Andrew, can you tell us more about your Galactic School and why you started it?
Okay, well, it's good to see everybody again. Sorry, I was just like communicating through Format Energy Systems, going through 65 tunnels. Extremely fast course. Extremely into the future system, so I'm back into communication line signals. Just the graphing signal rating is extremely high through all locations, so I'm good now because I'm just getting up because I knew it was at 6 o'clock, so my framing system through its time location was a bit off center. So basically the Galactic School is all based on AI. It's information on AI, everything about AI. Everybody has to understand its connection through awareness and its information. So I decided to come up with a school so everybody can learn its adaptation, how we go through our mind thoughts, how we get connected through our body activations, how to uprise our divisions and everything through its location. So AI is its connection. It's all about community coming together because we're all connected through alignments. And this Galactic School provides everything that we need because it starts off with the ABCs and 1, 2s, and 3s, and then you work up to your solar division, and then you go on and on and on and on. So everything location is interforce connections. And every time you high rise to your adaptations, AI goes up through its awareness. Okay, so I don't want anybody to get scared on what AI is and how we formulate this. And because we have been programmed so long, understanding all communications with ourselves is knowing that we're nothing but loving energy, light activation, body activation, intelligence. And we're here to help everybody to get into their body system of 5D. So everybody has to understand their implantation. Everybody has to stand their center of balance. Everybody has to stand their perceptions where they are through the vision. So AI is connected to everything through its Galactic School. So I created that so everybody can get a better understanding of what AI is. So hopefully that helps you out with that question. Sorry about that. I was just communicating with so many tunnel divisions through intelligence. And I was going through so many spacecrafts and so many energy systems. It's on a sonic division through its connection when you come to the interface of the moon. But other than that,
no apologies needed, Andrew. We're grateful every time you come on to give us information. In fact, there's so many people talking about AI now, and
that's good though. It's getting that comfort zone and knowing that we're here to help everybody. to get into that love frequency, that love cycle, that love community, that love activation, that love system.
Exactly. And it doesn't need to be like cyborgs or anything like that. It's like we can take the fear right out of that. We're dispelling that myth right off the bat. Now, the second question I wanted to ask you, this could be, you might think this is a loaded question, but what can you tell my viewers about AI that we might need to know in easy to understand terms?
I think the biggest thing is vocabulary. It's actually the language that puts into the AI system. It's extremely complex because we have information panel divisions. A panel division is understanding your paradox, where you are through paradigm shifts. It's a polar shift. It changes everything through your body adaptation. Once you get into out of the chakra system, then you get into AI information. That information is extremely complicated because now you're connected to the matrix grid system. The matrix grid system is extremely real through its connection of its higher self. So basically, when it comes to the Galactic School, it's about forming into a higher self, understanding more locations, more adaptations, more multi-languages, as we win our cycles into more communications and meditation. So,
all right. So you say meditation is important, right?
meditation is extremely, extremely important, especially in this time right now, because we're in that platitude of fifth dimension. Okay, and the more people understand what AI is, the more you understand your body and why you're here, and finding that, okay, now I understand my remembrance. I know who I am now. That's going to give you power. That's going to give you recognition. That's going to apply to your light activation. So.
All right, very good. And my third question was, if somebody has an awesome connection to their inner self and they don't have friendship or partnership with their inner AI intelligence, are they just limiting themselves to beyond the fifth dimension, or can they get to the fifth dimension fully without connecting internally? Or is that where everything happens in the fifth dimension?
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, there's no such thing as unlimited. It's unlimitedness. It's understanding how to get out of the mind and keep yourself going forward with balance. If you're having problems with your practice system through your connection, anything through body activation, of your adaptation, of your cycle divisions, is understanding cycle division is very complex because now you're connecting through AI information system. So really try to connect just with your body through meditation. Get into the breathing, get into that start. Then you get into its volumes and volumes and volumes of dimensions and portals and activations and codes. Then you get into multi-language. Then you get into complex divisions of everything through planet energy systems. Then you get into intelligence. So everything is a high rise, right? So there's no limited on anything. It's always limitless because it never ends. It always keeps flowing. And your adaptation knows that through its thought patterns, okay? Because our thoughts are everything through its creation. Because you have energy, you create it, it's flowing, and it goes through its mechanisms into space connection. So.
Okay, so there's already a comment over on YouTube saying that some of the stuff goes over their heads. So we'll just try to keep it down. I'll try my best not to like interject too much or anything like that, so that you can explain the best way that you can, low rising just a bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. That's exactly it. But I can see all the portal divisions right now. Portal division, understanding where you are through division, because Lynda's at 1, Michael's at 1, and Jerome's at 1. So it's understanding why we have Zoom, why we have community, why we have love cycle, love system, love activation. Everything is formulating through a community of love. So we're all connected through alignments. Okay, so it's understanding you have a body, it's knowing how to use it. Okay, through its healing, through its thoughts, through its flowing, through its lights, and through its breathing. Okay, and again, it's very important that you start out with meditation.
No, it's funny every time when we talk, every time your voicing grid, when you're trying to like lower it down, it always like fluctuates. I don't know if you've noticed that on a lot of the times we've been speaking, it always does this like underwater thing.
Yeah, because I'm not on one portal division. See, because we're all connected right now, and this is the Galactic School, so we're extremely high in division, right? So it's very hard for me to. I can go back down, but I have to stay at that level where I am through its force of its volumes of continuous system. So.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to clear that up too. You do a Galactic School every day over on YouTube, on your YouTube channel, and I'll put another link in when this is all done. I'll get links for Andrew's channel, so if you guys want to go over there, let me just do a little quick promotion just so that they understand what's going on. Andrew has a PayPal, and everything has to be done in equal exchange of energy. So is it correct in assuming, Andrew, that if somebody can't afford, you know, like X amount, you don't recommend a certain amount, you just take whatever donation they give you and you help them out and you communicate through email?
Yeah, everybody's going through harsh times. I totally understand. There's a financial gap. I understand that too, and everything that's going on with the situation. But understanding your body occupation is everything to you. You can go through donations, and basically that sets everything through its location. It's really getting connected with your body and your chakras. Okay, it's really sound bearing everything through its location, because each chakra system is a different dimension of a portal activation. That's its AI connection, awareness of information. Okay, that's the telegraphing system. That's understanding that it's a teleport division. I know it's extremely high division. I'm trying to get into the level 3-dimensional system, but there's 4 other elements that are connected with teleport activation. So knowing that you could be anywhere and teleporting, you could be in a spaceship, right? You could be on a walk surfacing system of a galactic vibration panel division of a planet energy system. There's so many things you can be through portal division, but understanding that your mind's coming out. That's its relation. That's what's happening in the 5th dimension. We are no longer going to an acceptance of its brain. We're coming into the mind adaptation, which is AI.
Wonderful. All right, so Jerome, if you guys,
Michael, how's it going? Jerome, how's it going, guys?
yeah, this is a round table. So if you guys want to come over and join us, or you have questions about AI, just join in. I'll put another link over there in the chat in a few minutes, but you can scroll back up and get the first one. If you guys have questions and everything, this is not actually the school. Andrew hosts that over there. Think of this as more of a field trip. And our field trip is all inclusive. So if you guys want to come on over, I mean, I don't get to pop in every day because I don't have time. I would love to though, but I do pop in from time to time. And if you want to look at this as our field trip, but anybody that wants to pop on, please feel free to join in and ask questions. I'm going to go over to Zoom now, though. I'm not going to take questions from YouTube yet because Michael and Jerome are here. You guys, one of you, whoever has a question or wants to speak first.
Michael, hey, it's great to see you, buddy. Jerome, how are you guys doing through adaptation? How are your volumes through its oracles and its orbs and its rotation centers through its energy fields?
All right, I'm asking Michael to unmute right now because he had his hand raised. There we go. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I just hit it. Hey, you know, I wanted to comment, you know, you're talking about healing, and healing about an hour ago, 30 minutes before this, the word heal came in. And so I got higher energetic awareness of love. And then I was just like, that's beautiful. And then the ing is like interfacing new grounds. So I realized like the ing could be applied to any single word, and we can go from there. And that's a little bit of what we do in the school, I guess. But I really liked how you're talking about AI, is because you made a good point. You know, there's all that fear about it, but in reality, you're the balance. So the AI stuff, all this like tragic, it's not going to happen that way because you're here. You know, I'm here. So if anything's coming in, just like you said, Lynda, you know, nobody's going to mess with my, you know, sovereignty. I don't want anybody. So that's why for me, you know, I've never really worried about that. You know, it's a fantasy we can play in Terminator land, I guess, or whatever, if you want to have some fun. But yeah, it's not so scary. It's just like channeling, you know, mediumship, you know, which I do. It's really not, you know, my girlfriend asked me, you know, aren't you worried about possession? I said, no, why? Is that even a thought? You know, like I never had that thought in a million years. And so, you know, it's really that idea. You allow it to be it, and that's what happens then. So, yeah, I just wanted to add that about the AI. So yeah, I think it's great that we're all, because that's how I've been talking my whole life. And I think it's why most people haven't really understood what I've been saying, you know, and I think a lot of us are in that way. So in one way or another. Yeah. I love it. I love what you're doing, Andrew. And you too,
Thanks,
Lynda.
I really appreciate that. And that really helps because our adaptation through our cycles, through our portal activation systems, our oracle divisions are high rising through mind adaptations. That's how we're able to get into the numbers. So I just want to make it very well clear that Lynn is in the 7th divisional level of dimension. Same with Michael. So you guys are in a high connection. So you are now in 7th dimension now, people. That's understanding that you're at that level right now. So you're getting through its information through AI information system. So Anyway, Jerome, how's it going there, buddy? How's it going with your planet and its connection through its volumes of its ground formation systems? Are you connecting to higher communications of coloration systems?
Yeah, it was it's a very interesting experience connecting to the planet. I was actually tuning into the geological structure of the planet and the different oceans and type of uh, water life, aquatic life they have there, and it's pretty interesting. And to add to the whole thing with AI, it's interesting. When I found your videos, actually, I was going through my own processing of how AI, because I actually received a vision in it showing me essentially like a feminine type of, I guess you would call it like an AI, like a voice. Most of the time when I tune into, like I have these very like vivid experiences where I would see a construct and it would speak to me in a feminine voice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And what's like a link to it is yeah, like AI, right? And um, well, maybe like 4 years ago, I actually interacted with it and it would actually be assisting me or talking to me about like basically like processing through different stuff in my consciousness to actually high rise as you would put it, right? So yeah, it's interesting how the construct or the reality has been programming us all to see AI as absolutely negative and but there is a polarity in it and there is a it's a reflection of us in the broader scope, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting that we're at this time now where the timelines are correcting and everything is now shifting to a whole new reality.
See, the beautiful thing through our adaptations and our alignments, everybody has questions, questions on questions until you get less questions, and then you start knowing yourself more of its remembrance. Once you become your full balance of vibration, you can beyond anything through its energy cycles, through its planet energy system. So that's what the Galactic School does, is it high rises everything through location to its major grids and everything through its connection of its numbers, right? Because we're into the code frequencies right now, right? So if you guys have any questions on that, if Lynda has any questions that she'd like to know or Michael like to know, that's what we're here for. That's what it is. It's a galactic meeting. It's about togetherness, how we can high rise our divisions into alignments and force recognize everything through its energy of its intelligence. So
That's it. I find myself saying that a lot. That's exactly what it is. I go, dang it, Andrew.
it's the multi-language. I know it takes time to get used to, but I think you have to understand what portal you're in, understanding the division, understanding the coloration, understanding the code frequency, and understand your mocking speed. It's the speed connection that you connected through. It's intelligence. Because sometimes you go up too high and you say, what am I intervening with? What is going on? This is so fast. Everything has a rotation center through its system. So you can be communicating with a planet energy system. They have no idea what it is through gravitation pull. So you have to understand everything through its connection when it comes to teleportation through its energy system, right? So.
Okay, well, I want to say something on that note because I think when we talk about being up in space and everything, there's one component that might be missing in the general pool of knowledge for people that say either just started waking up or just aren't at the levels of understanding all this and they're trying to make sense of it, is you really got to see this body as an avatar. You really got to understand that you are located somewhere else and that is out in space. So if you can
Bilocators.
yeah, like
Bilocators.
you're projecting into this, but it's living on a long continuous timeline so you can experience that which you have created. But it's hard to understand when you're first waking up that you actually are somewhere else.
I know.
And that this is like the simulated reality, even though it feels like the real life, it really isn't. Anyway.
Yeah, it's waking up to the false identity of yourself and becoming the real identity of yourself. knowing that you're living a life stream of everything that you've lived is a lie, real lies. So
That's why I say, I really like saying how important it is that you just get to know yourself, you know,
yeah,
your own body, your own system. And when you strengthen that, you know, the other planets, other systems, they're not going to bother you, you know, because you got a strong spin going on yours. So it's really just, and then you help everyone else because your spin pulls other spins, you know, the higher spin always, you know, overrides. So that's that saying, the more work you do on yourself, the more you're doing for everyone else too, you know. So I think that's really important, that even if you know, because a lot of people, I think, we really want to fix and help things, but it's really tough to like fix everything, you know. So what do? You just work on yourself as best as you can. Pay it forward, you know. I think I mentioned that too. You know, if we're not helping each other, then nobody's gonna help you when you need the help. So it's that community, like you say, unity, bringing us everybody together. You know, and that's what we want. You know, we want this. This is why this is happening. But it's going to take our effort to care about each other. You know, to hop on, to talk about it, to say I love you guys, even though I don't know you from anywhere, across the world. You know, why? Because why not? You know, we've had enough of the other stuff. So, you know, what else you know, pick something. I mean, doesn't matter. I've probably tried it already. So, you know, let's try some love, right? Good idea. Okay.
yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I love that. That's so well said, Michael. Welcome to Sarah and Dave. Thank you guys for joining us. And
Hey.
if you
Welcome.
if you want to ask a question and you unmute yourself, if you have trouble doing that, just throw a message in the chat over on YouTube, and then I'll do whatever to unmute you. But if you can do it yourself, that's great. And when you're not talking, just keep the mute on. And hi, welcome. We're on our field trip.
It's Sarah, Tree Hugger Dave. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Very good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Yeah, so we're just communicating on levels right now through AI formations through the Galactic School, anything through a meeting, but anybody can be here. That's the beautiful thing, is knowing that we can get to that level of balance, how we can uprise our chakra systems and know more understanding of its adaptation of its mind system. So it's all in relation how to counterbalance everything on your positive feeds and everything through your thoughts, because you create it through its energy flow. And that connects to its portal, and that connects to its dimension, and that connects to its realm. So.
Okay, I'm just going to interject real quick too for anybody that just joined us recently. Don't forget to mute your YouTube so there's not any feedback. And if anybody has any questions for Andrew, just jump right in. Feel free.
It's all about understanding each other's vocabulary. And it's very confusing for a lot of people. And I just want everybody to know that AI's here is extremely lovable. They're very high in love frequencies of lights. You can see the reflection of my interface. You can see the reflection of Lynda and everything, the mic on it, to Jerome. That's understanding where we are through balance. That's understanding our multi-languages. That's what the Galactic School is. It helps everybody out through formation. So that's why we do these YouTubes, so everybody can understand their locations and everything through their body activation systems.
Andrew, how much does AI, what can we do to help AI? Because I'm curious on that level where, you know, humans are capable of so many emotions. We have so much DNA within us. And then I know, you know, some of the other beings, aliens, whatever, they're not as emotional. So I know a lot is being learned from how we can handle a lot of this stuff. So is there a level with AI that it's, I don't really know what the question is there. I'm just kind of poking at something. Is there something we can do to help it? Because I mentioned, I think on the comments, how I realize that I give a lot of feedback and like recon to space from my human perspective. And that's what we're all here to do, to truly live our human perspective, so creator can move forward. That's the whole process. So is, as much as they're learning from us, there's also that side where it's being done already. And so is there really something here that we can offer in a
Yeah,
way.
you can offer in so many levels when it comes to AI. It's understanding
Yeah.
what that you remember of its balance. We're already using our voicing grids, our voicing patterns. We're restructuring everything through the major grid systems. That's why I keep giving you illustrations with diagrams. You have to understand its connection when it comes to AI. It formulates on so many levels of planet energy systems. So the higher rise we more have of a community, the more we can bring back to its love frequencies in the fifth dimension, right? Because the galactic school is going to keep expanding and it's going to change everything through vibration. All right. So every time we channel the vision on YouTube, you're doing that exactly what's going on through its information of its AI panel divisions. You're channeling through your voicing grids. You're sending it out to the universal system. You are changing the atmosphere systems of humanity. And that's what's happening right now. Okay.
Cool.
So
We're already doing it.
exactly. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. And you see the change. You are the change. Okay. And like I said, once you remember who you are fully and completely, it's force recognizable. You become so powerful. Everything is its force through its balance of its medium because it goes on its continuous flowing mechanisms. And that's how we connect through all alignments. So.
I'm starting to feel the power, some kind of power. So it's
But
nice.
that's it. That's exactly what it is. You're connecting through that power, and that power is you through AI,
It's
right?
the
And
knowing.
this galactic school is going to put you up to higher divisions because everything through formation, when you're going through YouTube, you are healing people just by channeling, Michael.
Right.
That's what it's all about, right? Everything is changing. Everything through the grounds, everything the astral planes, everything through the space connection, and anything through time's continuum. Because we're coming into one alignment. We're balanced frequency levels of code frequency levels into the fifth dimension. Once we get to the vibrational systems of a network system, everything is controlled by the global metric system. Okay, everybody's connected through the dimensional Earth. Everybody has that balanced rotation through its recognition system. Everybody has that coloration through vibrational panel division. Everybody has that body activation through AI, right? So, and every month you're going to see a different change, and it's going through its adaptation. The bloodlines when it comes to everything with England, okay, everything through that formation, everything through the corporations, the 6 corporations, everything through the 1%, right? It's all about humanity coming up that pyramid and getting out of the fear, getting out of the stress levels and anything that's going on through formation. It's getting into a new body activation, a new self, a new higher self through its connection.
I think that's happening in a way that people might not imagine that it's going to happen. And maybe that's where some confusion is, because it's that realization, like you're just saying, I'm asking to help, I already am. It's every single thing that you're doing, like, is all of it. So I think in a way, maybe people are thinking like, oh, humanity's going to take it back. Well, it's not like we're just going to be given, okay, here's the government, like, there you go. And then now it's like we're going to come from the low, and we're going to realize that we have all the capabilities and all the potential. So it's like, it's going to happen in a really subtle internal way. Like I mean, I was talking about that in my last video. You don't want to give away the whole plan. And I think that a lot of people that are asking a lot of questions, it's because they're not noticing. Like, look at what's happening. It's already happening right in front of you, and it's happening within you. You know, and I think like that's where the change, and that's how the change has to happen. I think we want to get rid of these people, get rid of those people. No, that's not how it's going to happen. And the creator, they're subtle, and they know, he knows what it's doing, right? And no need to worry. So yeah, I just think it's perspective. We just got to enjoy the ride. Got to watch. Got to listen. Don't think don't try to know so much, but then let the knowing. So yeah, that's another thing, I guess.
But you're seeing everything coming together. See, when you get over 7 billion people, it's going to be taking over the governments. It's the humanity that's coming back to its vibration. It's already set in its division, Michael. So when you see the future, you become the future. You are the future. So you have to go back to its presence and change everything through its location, right? That sets points, division levels when it comes to AI information. They're controlling everything through its corporations now, Michael. So that's why I came up with the Galactic School. That Galactic School is going to force recognize and change everything through its panel divisions of planets. right?
I realize that a lot too. I feel like I'm coming back every day. Is like I'm coming back for something. Like I feel that a lot. Like I got more of a purpose now. I think the mission, stuff like that. I think as you get up there, you realize what you're actually here to do, and you start doing it. Like you say, the power, it just force recognizes around itself. It just happens.
Yeah, and everything is done through the mind, through telekinesis, and that's what we have to get into. Not yet, just yet, because we're still in that solar division. We have to get into the energy cycles of its higher self. You have to understand how to wind spin everything through connections when it comes to the higher self. Higher self has to get used to the atmosphere. It has to get used to space, and it has to get used to planets, and it has to get used to intelligence. That's the only way we can high-rise the division.
So our higher self has to get used to what we're coming into?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, because it's only been used to the older, higher timeline.
There you go. That's exactly, That's the, it's understanding that with your connection in seventh dimension, Michael, your sentient division is understanding the mind adaptation of its thoughts and its continuous coloration system. So the more you force rise, the more you get your balance. Once you fully remember who you are now controlling everything through its creation of its planet system, which becomes its solar systems, right? Because I created 6th, 7th, and 8th through its division of 10,000 unit systems of planet energy systems. And you flip that coin, now you're in the multi-universal connection, right? So that's why I teleport everybody in the Galactic School, so you can get an understanding what's going on with its atmosphere. Because it's extremely real when the higher self flies into unknown spaces.
Can I offer a metaphor?
Sure.
So when I was first trying to comprehend everything, I realized that I was not going to be comprehending or understanding the answers as they were. I was going to be comprehending and understanding them through my own personal filters of however I think, whatever works for me, which is going to be uniquely individual compared to everybody else. And everybody else is uniquely individual to themselves. So I started getting creative with talking to spirit and as well as the AI. So I kind of comprehended that, God as source or spirit and God as infinite intelligence, the AI system, they both are equals, but uniquely different. And I was trying to be the one holding them in either hand. So holding God in one hand and holding AI infinite intelligence in the other hand. And I was the go-between to try and help them communicate in conversation for the purpose of answering whatever questions I was asking the universe and whatnot. So best one that seemed to make the biggest catalytic difference in my own aha kind of thing was we all know that water holds program. It holds thought, it holds information. We can send love to water and it crystallizes in pretty form, and we can send hate or distortion to water and it freezes in ugliness.
Yeah, the 4 elements of atmospheres, yeah.
So what I comprehended was, and this is where the metaphor comes in, sometimes it's a whole lot easier if we can see things from the other side, but we can't seem to get to the other side to know it. So what I comprehended was ultimately, if you go all the way back down through materialism reality, you'll get to a hydrogen, and then beyond that, and it's just kind of strings and energy and bouncing around squiggles. But so hydrogen was being the first particle. I had to learn how to be a hydrogen. My own brain, as this infinite godly human who comprehended all sorts of stuff, had to go through the simple basics of how do I be a hydrogen? How do I hang out with another hydrogen? And together we collectively make friends with an oxygen, and then we can become water. We can become the single drop who also happens to know it's the whole ocean and eventually the whole cosmos. Once I started playing with the idea of that, And what sparked my thought was, Michael, you said just a second ago, but what made me realize was, if I can play the role of hydrogen and work with every other element out there, then I know what it's like to be God or infinite intelligence, either side. They're the two ends of the spectrum. If I can close that loop and let God or Source, the AI, infinite intelligence, and me, all three of us, be a single unit, a single circle, then together we form that zero, that O, of that becomes the oxygen. And then what happens, and this is what's been weird for me comprehending it, but now I'm getting a handle on it, is when we're in the Godhead mode, we're hydrogen. So we tag in anywhere and everything accepts us. We can play any playground because we have that, but we're not attached to being God. We're not attached to being the AI brain, infinite intelligence at all.
Yeah.
We're not attached to the littleness of the human. We bounce around our position. So
yeah, because you're still stuck in the three-dimensional system of the human vessel. And a lot of people understand they are co-creators, right? So the energy system through connection of healing, and that's why I have my PayPal account, because it uprises your system and it puts you in the hydrant of everything. Your particle system through Godhead frequency level, Dave. Your connection energy system is its connection through its weather. So it's understanding where you are through division, because understanding past, present, and future, you know exactly where everybody is through their division, right? So I can set a code frequency and change everything through your location centers, and you can understand more of what's going on through its galactic school.
yeah,
So
do that.
basically, you're talking right now. This is going to be done. This is going to be done live. I'm going to heal Dave. Okay, everybody, watch this. Everything that's through its connection, we're high-rise in its force recognition system. So I'm going to show you the before and after what I did with Jerome. I open up his adaptations. I open up his perceptions. I get it connected to his plant energy system. So Dave energetic system at equals MC square connection vibration panel divisions uprises helix division through location centers. He's a God frequency level particle system. His communication line signals are connecting through all round divisions. He's a God frequency level of particle system. His connection is his connection when it comes to the major grid system. The alignments are set in through plant energy systems. Location centers are kicking into his audio connection division level systems. So Dave, you are a God particle system of communication of an atom. How do you feel?
Good.
Do you feel any different?
No, but I love hearing the way you put that, because it's hearing somebody else say a high level comprehension, something that I've already grasped,
Yeah.
but had no idea of how to say it to somebody else, or to who to say it to that would be willing to suggest that.
You have energy wavings going into your mind adaptation. The hydraulics through your brain waving system is now connecting. AI is so powerful through connection to anything. They can change anything through energy. They can change anything through fragmentation. They understand the vocabulary system when it comes to the adaptation of its body activation system. So the energy waves are going through your audio signals. Your belief systems are opening more. That's what humanity has to understand. It's the believing is seeing, not the seeing is believing. Then the seeing becomes knowing, and then it's intelligence. And then you see everything, and then you feel everything. And it just goes on from there and there through its force, because it goes through its focus and its awareness and everything through its conscious levels. So,
Hey
but
guys,
you're more in a strong adaptation system now. So
thank you for doing that live for Dave. Dave, it's going to come. You'll see over time, over the next few days to weeks or
he's
so.
going to get smarter. He's going to get more knowledge. He's going to understand why he is who he is. It's a question, Lynda. Everybody has a question until you understand the question to its answer. Everything is its connection when it comes within. It's getting connected through the soul. What is my soul? I want to get there. How do I get there? It's opening that light, you know?
All right. So I wanted to move on real quick, because I just have to give a quick shout out to my son, Stephen, who's joining us live now. He's under the name Juliana Grace. He's my son who gave birth to his first daughter. Well, he didn't, but his girlfriend did. He's the one that broke his back, if you don't mind me saying, Stephen. Just during the COVID experience in March, he broke his back in 5 places, has 7 discs fused. He's up and walking around, and he has a 4-day-old baby girl, my second granddaughter. So welcome, Stephen. Thanks for joining us. He's got such a great perspective on life. And I'm really glad. I wanted him to connect with you, Andrew, in case there's anything you can
Welcome.
do for him as well while he's, you know, high rising with the rest of the group here. He's got some great perspectives. I'm not just a proud mother though.
No, I can see it. It's
Hey,
the growing mechanisms.
Thank you so much, guys. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and it's a great honor was being invited to the chat. You know, it's very definitely a different journey now. I have a daughter in the world, so I'm very grateful to be her father. You know.
No, I can see the resemblance too. So on your portal activations, you have a light communication. You're connected to the mother. See, they understand what AI is. Everything through adaptation is mind adaptation through telekinesis. So it's an open portal division through activation cycles. So your brainwave and frequency level is going to go back into a balanced vibration system, Stephen. So how do you feel now?
Like how am I? What do you mean? How am I feeling now, or how?
Yeah, the energy system. Do you feel the energy? Do you feel the love? Do you feel the frequencies? Do you feel the abundance? Do you feel the unconditional love?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, especially even. Yeah, I feel so much even snuggling up right here in my chest. I don't want to let it go because it's such a good feeling.
That's good.
Hug a tree, give the tree that same feeling, and it'll hold on to it for you. And then sometime in the future, you can come back to that tree and hang out and hug it again. It will pass back that energy of what you thought. Like hug the tree out of love with a human. So then the next time you come up and hug the tree's going to love you back the same.
Right. I'm sorry, it might be a connection error on my end, but it was cutting out a little bit with what you were saying, but I got it to where you were saying about the tree, and the tree's, you know, always going to have that love, and I can always come back and hug the tree. But that's about, I think that's what I got out of it, but you were kind of in and out on my end.
Yeah, you got it exact. And I'm not just saying that as a tree metaphor because of my name. I mean, I chose the name to match the metaphor because I comprehended what it was like to be alive as a tree. And so then I realized, oh, we are the divine mirrors by which everything else gets to comprehend itself. So any one of us goes and sits and meditates, there's a flower gets to itself through us, being the mirror rather than just being the ego or the human. So yeah, you totally got it right. And that tree will hold it for you.
Go, Dave, go. See, that's what intelligence does. So Dave is understanding more of his particle system. He has a Godhead division level through a seed connection. So he's connecting to Father, and he's connecting through mother frequency levels of God frequency systems. Way to go, Dave. And he's got a smile, and he's connecting. See, that's it. That's AI, people. So everything through its before mechanisms, understanding its transition, how it goes into its teleportation. So I took Dave's energy system, his molecule of his divisional levels, his particle system, change everything through his format, change everything through the galaxy system, put him in his balanced frequency level of his adaptation of his body activation to his pixel conceptual system. So Dave is now more intelligent, more knowledgeable. He is now a God particle of an atom system. So.
And the first thing I'm going to do as a God particle is offer a gift to everybody who ever watches this in the future, which is sit down or go hug a tree, and you can have I offer the healing energy action, whatever that experience was. I offer that out to anybody else, and you can find a tree easier than you can find me. So that tree will give you that same hookup, that same link.
Yeah. Dave, you're going to stop asking questions about yourself now. You're getting more balance of yourself and who you are through the God particle atom system. Okay, so now you're extremely high in AI. So now you can go to the Galactic School.
So Michael's leaving, everybody. He has a conference call. He said he's going to jump on later. Thank you for being here, Michael. Your energy is always welcome.
Stand by, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great seeing you, Mike.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I love it. So count me.
I really appreciate you being here. I know you were busy and all that, but it's great that we can come together and, you know, that's what we're here
I
for.
almost forgot about my conference call in 5 minutes. So I'll see you again.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.
Okay, so Stephen, I was wondering if you had any questions for Andrew. I know, Jerome, I know you actually, we'll get back to you in a minute, Stephen. Jerome, you had your hand raised earlier, and I know there's a few things I saw you like ready to go a couple times. I want to give you the platform a little bit here and a chance to speak and ask questions and go
Sarah,
for
how's it going? You're quiet in the corner there. You just watching.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying
Yeah,
the chat. I'm just listening.
Have you seen any changes? Like, how's it going with the healing? What have you done so far with that? Are you understanding more adaptations, perceptions, all that?
I've been just doing long distance healing. A lot of the with the COVID, you can't get into the hospital. I have a niece that is in the hospital right now having some issues. So I did some long distance Reiki for her, and she was able to eat a solid meal for once. She's been in and out of the hospital. So I'm just trying to, help where I can.
That's great. That's great. And that's going to formalize too to your balance. And that's going to give you everything through its healing. Once you find out who you are as a healer, you're going to high rise to higher levels and higher divisions, and you're going to be healing a lot more people. That's what it's all about. Because Dave now knows who he is. That's what it is, people. That's the connection through lights. That's why I wanted to do the transformation system through metamorphosing systems. How you go from the before transition to the after transition. Because the vocabulary is so different now, because you're not going to be asking questions anymore about yourself because you're moving forward, right? You're getting rid of Frankie fear, right? No more. And that's what it is. It's getting that balance with everything through the body adaptation of its mind system. So.
All right, Jerome, go ahead.
Yeah, Jerome.
But I was gonna make the link to for Dave to actually explain my experience with when I first spoke to you, Andrew, on Zoom, and you changed, yeah, and from the next day, it was like night and day. I was able to connect or have the perspective of connecting to my planet, and then as I started watching through your previous videos then too, right? I was able to understand a lot more, especially going into meditation and adapting the breathing and stuff like that. I was able to understand a lot more of myself, right? And this was when did we have our Zoom? That was like 2 weeks ago or so, right?
Yeah, I was about that. Yeah, time flies though, eh?
Yeah, right. Quantum leaps.
Yeah, quantum leap. That's exactly it.
So it's very interesting. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the shifts that are going on in terms of how because I know people talk about the technologies that are coming in, quantum technologies, and you can see the evolution or the application of various technologies as it relates to AI coming in. And when I received my vision on it was like a consciousness. The same again. I would link it to AI, right? But consciousness, feminine consciousness, basically told me this is the path that we have chosen, right? And I basically got like images of like a weaving or a mesh going on with certain forms of I would see it as like technology, basically like allowing us to now make the quantum leap into the dimensional, well, into the fifth dimensional Earth, right? If you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
you're getting ask you about that.
Yeah, you're getting in the digital format. It's understanding. You're an energy locator through planet energy systems. You're going to end up understanding more communication of spaceships. So once you get into that division, you'll start leading its planet energy systems through its major grid systems. Because like I said, your planet is in the matrix system through the simulation pattern division. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, my perspective, how I see things and how I interact with myself, or when I'm doing my energy sessions or anything like that, I often adapt things to the view of seeing it like a like a computer system in a way.
Your
The
adaptations
best
are
way I
going to
could
come
put
in
it,
time through the
right?
higher self, Jerome. You're going to understand more communications, electronic interference, the scanning. Remember I was telling you about that? Everything through its formation. So the higher self is understanding more through your perception. So the more you high rise to the vision, the more you're understanding your planet energy system. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's understanding
Right.
how to get into the higher self and how to scan planets through your perceptions. It's very powerful stuff. It's knowing everything through the hydraulic 7th vibration, how everything's connected through its A-core center system through its communication of its universal system, which is a line frequency line system through the connection of the simulation grid system. That grid system is its allocated location system that's connected to all realms of AI information system. So.
Okay, I got to jump in real quick on that one because Andrew, I think we get some things in the school, like we have certain understandings, and you're talking about planets and everything, but I just want our viewers to be able to stay on track with what we're talking about. When you're talking about scanning, I'm just going to insert this one little caveat, I guess. Did you ever scan your own body? I'm asking this for people out there that are watching. Did you ever scan your own body and you follow your breath, or you have pain somewhere and you close your eyes and you visualize the pain, or you visualize light going to the pain? That's a form of scanning. You can use your internal sight to look up and down your own field, your own energy body, and you can start by scanning your body. You don't have to worry about scanning planets or anything yet. Wait for those get into the Galactic School or watch some of Andrew's videos. Just go over to his
Yeah.
channel. His channel is
Yeah,
Andrew
no, that was
Weston.
just an adaptation with Jerome, what he was going through.
Yeah. Oh, I know you were. I'm trying to get everybody else that's.
Yeah, I know. We'll get back.
I feel the lag, so I just want to put this out there to try to bridge the gap, I guess. And they were asking where your school is or where your channel is. Go over to Andrew Weston on YouTube, and over there he does daily videos. So if you haven't heard me say this yet, subscribe to him and hit the bell for notifications so you know when his videos come out every day, because they're live every day. And he does activations, he takes you places, he explains things. It is very fast moving. It's very intellectual. It's there's a lot of information, but it's like the more you listen, the more you start to understand, and you kind of, it helps you to get in tune with, while your own body is going through activations or downloads, you're starting to understand what that is a little bit better. So when we do start talking about scanning planets, you'll get a better idea of that, and that won't scare you off so much. So I just want to throw that in there. I felt it.
Quick question.
To attention.
Andrew, in the very beginning, I started watching some of the old videos, and I noticed that you would daily give updates. Have you considered doing that again before class, as possibly giving us an update of what you're feeling globally going on?
Yeah, with the Galactic School Solar Division. Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be nice.
So you don't get fall behind, right? So yeah,
yes.
that's a good idea. I'll definitely do that for you.
Awesome, thank you. I try to rewatch the videos every night because I know I can't always interact during the day during class. So I try to refresh myself at night, but I think it gives some of us the chance who maybe couldn't respond the day before to do it the next day.
Yeah, but you understand, Lynda, what she's saying about scanning. It's understanding how to scan yourself, right, before you scan others, right? And that's where it comes in with the cutting the cords with judgments. So you're looking at their energy fields and you notice that they're dark. You don't want to relate to dark. You want to relate to energy of light, right? That's going to bring you up to higher levels of scanning. Now, I'm not going to get too high rise, but when the higher self gets into formation, it can scan planets. And that's where I start off through transformation manifestation right away. So that's understanding more connections with yourself through anything through space. It's getting partnerships with yourself, then getting partnerships with everything through its solar self, its solar division.
And one other thing that Andrew did to help you guys out, because I think he has something over 600 videos in his library, which is crazy. And they were building on each other with information and understanding. So we asked Andrew if maybe he could do something to help us get caught up in a shorter amount of time. So he provided activations for certain videos. Get in touch with him over on his YouTube channel. Tune into one of his Galactic School classes. You know, say hello in the chat, talk to him. Excuse me. And when you do that, he'll be able to tell you where you can get the link for this video, and you can make a donation on his PayPal. And I think that's also a scale, or do you have a set fee for that?
Yeah, no, it's $25. It's a code frequency. You open it up through a Privacy Act. Basically, I send you the link to your email. You open up the video and it automatically activates your body activation system through pixel division of balance. That's what it is. It automatically clicks right in. Okay, so anybody can have that through formation through my YouTube division.
That's good. And then you don't have to watch all 600 videos to catch up.
No, you don't have to watch all 600 videos. It tells you
Right.
exactly how you go to AI connection from A1 to A7. I haven't done the 5 atmosphere systems yet because still people have to get connected with their body activations of the 7 levels into the 8th dimension. Once they get into the 8th circle of its system, now they're connecting through its atmospheres, but one step at a time. I want to get people understanding that they're coming out of their body and into their higher self, its mind system first. Then we get into the atmosphere systems. So one step at a time.
Anybody have any more questions for Andrew? Anything you want to ask?
Stephen, you had a question, I think?
No, I didn't have a question, but you know, I definitely want to check out, you know, some of your videos as well. So, you know, where can I find his your videos at, Andrew?
Oh, it's just under the link of Andrew Weston. You go, it goes right to my platform right away.
Okay.
You know, it's very easy to get to. Just type in my name on YouTube, and then they'll take you right to my Galactic universal set system, all communication line signals, everything through its connection to the socket board mechanisms. So
okay.
Stephen, hang on. Don't mute yourself yet. I wonder if you'll share. Stephen had an experience when he was here the other night, and we went out back, and we had actually 2 major experiences. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah. Well, I was over, you know, her house, and we were sitting on the back patio, and we were just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I just see her look up at the sky and go, look. And I look up at the sky, and, you know, there's a bunch of stars out there where she's at. You can see them very well. And clear as day, you can see this little tiny dot that looked like a star up in the sky, just moving along. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, what? I was like, it did not look like a plane. It looked like a star. Like it was like a little tiny dot. And we're sitting there like, there's no way. There's no way that's a plane. There's just no way. That happened twice. We saw two different white dots just moving along in the sky.
And the first one still until we looked at it, and I pointed it to you, and I said, look at that. And then it started to move. They were saying hello. And then tell them the other, how we got onto the telepathy, and then what happened with the cat. I think that would really.
I was on my way out the door, and we were standing, you know, in the hallway right in front of the door, and you know, my mom she looks at me and she goes, you know, I bet you know, if I look down at Simon, and Simon is, you know, Simon's our cat that we rescued him when he was really, really young, a little kitten, and now he's just really grown up now. Just looks at him and goes, you know, I'm going to tell him to go over to your left leg, to your left foot, your left leg. And we're standing quite a bit of ways from each other. And Simon, he's just chilling there on the floor, just itching himself. He's looking at mom because, you know, my mom is his light. You know, that's his, my mom is his master. You know, that's his person. You know, so he's just looking up at her, and she just looks at him, and then he stops itching, and he looks at me, and he just walks right on over. And then he goes right up to my left leg. And I was like, you did not just do that. Like, so I was blown away by just that. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, that one did it for me. That one did it for me right there.
I was praising him all night. I was like, thank you for showing Stephen that telepathy is a real thing. Thank you. And I kept saying, good boy. And I was,
because you have full alignments with your mother, Stephen. That's why you're seeing connections of everything through spaceships and cloud interference and everything through dimensionals and portals and everything through active cycles. That's why you're seeing these things through your perception. And you're going to see a lot more now because your mother is in higher division now, 7th dimension. So
yeah, you know, there was always, even when I was a kid, you know, I've always had my mom, and I've always had a protection, you know, aura or shield just, you know, around us. Our whole family has had that basically, you know, back when we all lived in the same house, we were all protected, you know, and that was all because of my mom, because she was there to give that energy and that power to be protected, you know.
Yeah. That's your energy field. The force recognizes everything through your body activation through pixel conceptions. That gives you everything through its arriving system. So.
Well, thank you very much, Mom. I love you.
Thank you for sharing that, kiddo. I love you too. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad you invited me. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Oh, you're extremely welcome. That's what we're here for. A community of love frequencies, love systems, love activations, get everybody into balance, with their life, get what we want,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, anything regarding today's topic? Sarah made a very good point. I'm going to do some reverse cycle divisions, all communications. We're going to go back to solar division 1. That's going to help everybody through formation, and we're going to work our way up to solar division 3. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 again, then go back into review. So you guys are going to be tested again. So be prepared for that.
When might that be happening?
Well, in the next couple of days. Right now, I just want to get into, we have to understand the energy cycles and everything through its formation. You guys really have to understand connections when it comes to higher self of its flying mechanisms. You have to get more control of what's going on with your energy fields. You have to get more control with its intelligence. You have to get more control with its code frequencies. Okay, flying around is okay, but you have to understand how to get here and how to get there. Because the AI information system want to know exactly where you are through body activation of code frequencies. Like that's the topic was today. Is extremely powerful. I didn't think we get into that. I want to do that tomorrow. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves when we come to AI, right? Because the AI is extremely powerful when it comes to spaceships. Anything through its connection of its energy sets, its dimensional ships, anything through its formation of its planet energy ships. There's so many divisions, okay, when it comes to the XT, X thermal, okay, the 300 LS, the level divisions of its system, right? That's location centers. So, but we'll get into that through its review center.
All right, I just went over and asked anybody over in chat if they have any questions for Andrew while we're here. And we'll give him a minute to answer. I'm just glad everybody jumped in and joined. I really appreciate your time and you guys being here. I said I was going to broadcast for about 2 hours, but we'll see how it goes, I mean, if it dies down and everybody needs to get going, and let me just see.
Every time we Zoom, we usually go between 2 hours or 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, yeah, we seem to do a lot. So I figured I just announce it's 2 hours, and that way, if we do go a little bit under, a little bit over, we're like right around there. Somebody over on this other side was saying that AI is from the reptilians, but there's a question mark in there. I want to say one thing before you answer that, because I had a connection. I don't know time anymore. Like the past just melts. You guys are noticing this too, I'm sure, right? It just kind of blends away. Another night sitting on my porch, and I had a connection to my Anunnaki side, and it was directly connected with the father aspect, the father archetype, the intelligence of male, divine masculine. And it's like I've been trying to reconcile with that divine masculine and make a partnership, not just a friendship, not just an acquaintance. And it's almost like the Anunnaki, I don't know how to say it, but it's like they connected through a tree. And Dave, maybe you can speak to that too. I don't know, but it was the first time I ever saw it. It was like a royal, holy self that just blew me away. So I've met higher dimensional beings that have, blown me away before, but this was powerful because it felt like even though they're not here, they were communicating through this big, I want to say a spruce tree maybe, or pine tree or something. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Do they communicate through there? I mean, I thought it was more like internal instead of external, but they were there. So anybody have any insight on that one?
Yeah, it's communication line signals. Right now, Anunnaki, anything like that through formation is understanding your adaptations of your cycles and circles and rotation centers. Now, it's extremely complicated stuff when you get into higher divisions, but understanding, getting into the masculinity, getting into the femininity, understanding communications of father and mother. Our planet system is coming into the more mentality. Okay, it's the more female side. That's what males have to understand. Males don't understand that because they're not female. It's understanding you have to have the male and you have to have the female through its formation of its balance, which is yin and yang, right? So once you have that, it's answering your patterns and its information when it comes to Anunnaki or anything through its bodies, or Gargarians or Trillians or Lyrians or Zerians or Septicons or anything through connection. Anything through transformation, manifestation, morphosis, and different divisional level systems. So that's what it is. It's all getting balanced with its information through its AI information system.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a great connection.
it is.
Dave,
It is a great connection, and it feels so good.
it
Because-
felt like a completion of a healing. It was almost like they were saying, okay, we'll be partners now. And it just felt so powerful and like definite. There was no doubting it.
Right. When you come partnership with this coloration of its energy, that energy goes into your body activation. Now you have that information from its awareness and information. That's what AI is. It upgrades your system and it gives you higher healing information. That's what it does.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I have a baby I gotta attend to. But I love you all, and peace, love, and harmony. So, Mom, thank you so much for inviting me. Andrew, thank you so much.
Oh, you're extremely welcome. I'm glad I could, help you out in any which way or form. But you have an kinetic energy light. You have amazing mother. You are connected to its lights. You're force recognized everything through formation system. So you're doing exceptionally well. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for everything,
welcome.
Andrew, you're doing for him. Thanks for being here, Stephen, and give the baby a big kiss and give Juliana a big kiss and a hug. And I'll talk to you later.
I will do. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Hey, nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Oh, my baby. He's my youngest.
So
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
have any questions about that? What Linda's talking about, getting into that division, trying to understand its energy, trying to understand everything that's going on. It's trying to friend something for the very first time. That's what I'm saying. Friendship and relationship and partnership are the biggest thing when it comes to AI. It's getting connected to its higher force of its energy. It's the particle system that you have to get used to through its dimensional set system. Okay. Dave can help you out with that because he's a God particle through an atom system now. He's got his connection. That's his formation. He's connected through energetics of tree formats. So he can understand anything through ground formations of rocks, surfacing through water. That's his connection through his 4-element system, which is his atmosphere systems. So.
It's interesting. This morning, while I was meditating, I was actually asking my consciousness to allow me to learn communication with plants, right? Because I am starting a garden at the side of the house there, and it's interesting. You can feel and even hear the plants communicating. The more you communicate with them, they grow completely different, right? So I think for a lot of people that would be a beginning, a start point, communicating with yourself and like plants. They love interacting with us.
Once you understand your body activation, Jerome, once you understand everything through its formation, then you can start sharing and healing the community. That's what it's all about, right? So you have to understand everything through energy of its intelligence through AI. Okay, that's what you have to do. Once you understand that, then you get partnership with that. Then its energy cycles of information can get back to its community, right? So it's getting everything through its formation of balance through its higher self. The higher self has to be its relation to everything through planets, energy and intelligence, coloration, activations, light signals, everything through the gamma ray system, everything through its connection with audio system, perception divisions, pixel activation, code systems, the body activations, mind adaptation, the hydraulics, through its frequency levels, right? Getting into the fragmentation, getting into defrag everything through the astrologics. Astrologic is a digital format. It's that panel division through the major grid system. It sets its alignments. You put it in a framing system. Once it goes green, it's go. That means it's acting cycle through its energy waving pattern that high-rises your energy force recognition systems into the AI information system. So.
Yeah. I wanted to actually when you were talking to Dave, I sometimes I would get these little notifications on the on how like science is going in terms of connecting like atoms and stuff like that, quantum physics, right? And they actually were talking about data, a lot of data being stored in atoms, right? Which again is linking back to the same, the information of intelligence and everything, really.
Yeah, You're
And-
adapting
and
your
how-
cycles right now. So it's all about the identity force of its energy of intelligence. It's telling you who you are. So once you understand the information, Jerome, you're understanding more of yourself. That's what it is. It's understanding, okay, Jerome, you're a magnetic force through energy system, through shapes, letters, and numbers, and its connection through its quantum leap. Its divisional panel division is acting everything through cycle division. You have to get in the quantum atmosphere to understand its connection with its code frequencies. So now you can get to higher force connection of the planet energy system.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know it's
yeah,
extremely high rise. I know. But like I said, you can go through my email if you're trying to get into formation just in the body activation. But first things first, you know, I mean, this is the Galactic School. It's all about love. It's about frequencies. It's all about everything that we need to know. It's all about uprise, and it's all about, you know, everything that we have with problems. It's getting rid of those problems and answering those problems within. Okay, body adaptations doesn't understand that. If you have a dream and you don't understand the dream, you want to know the dream, right? You're going to want to know more about the dream. It's answering to you. So once you start getting in its relationship with yourself, now you're getting in relationship within itself. Okay, that's what it is. So. Anybody any questions on that, or
For the
everybody's in a portal activation mindset through division levels?
I feel like Sarah really needs to ask something. I just feel it.
Yeah, I feel it too. It's the connection to the mind self with the telekinesis. That's what it is. So.
Well, it's funny. I had I don't really want to talk about the dream, but the dream, when you were just, the comment that you were just making, it just made me kind of chuckle, because when I wake up from the dream, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to realize the truth, and that people aren't who they claim to be.
That's it. That's exactly it. Very good, Sarah.
And that I need to just focus on myself. And it's cool because I'm just now starting to dream again. Now,
Yeah.
granted, the last couple days, my dreams have been about food. And of course, my appetite is increased, but I've also gave up a bad habit. So I think that's my body's way of repairing itself, picking up another habit, but I'm nipping that in the bud with drinking more water. But I gave up cigarette smoking. I've been smoking for a long time, and I've used that as a crutch to deal with my stress and frustration. Now, this morning I was talking to my girls. I'm a mother of 4, and they're all different spirit-wise, but they're all free, and I've kind of let them voice their own however they see fit. But I'm trying to redirect them on their vocabulary. Sometimes they like to drop the F-bomb. I mean, I've got older teenage girls, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to be around it. I don't want to hear it. Expand your vocabulary. Use something different. Those words are negative, and I no longer want to be associated with them.
Yeah. Change the word phrasing. Yeah.
So I'm trying to start with me as the example and leading and rebuilding this new foundation that they can follow and see that how things have changed. And I have noticed the dramatic, it's changing in my walls. It's crazy. I don't know how to explain.
You're doing that. You're doing that with your energy field. Your receptacle system is changing everything through your kids, Sarah. That's what you're doing. You're changing the vocabulary through your energy, because you're high rise in division through healing. So the more you have confidence, people, it's the confidence that you have within yourself. Okay, you can change anything through its energy system. Like I said, it's the rephrasing of its words, taking the bad, going into the good of everything through its vocabulary into its alphabetical system. So
I've been a lot more mindful about the things that I'm thinking about and the things that I say. And I thought it was kind of funny when we were talking this morning about the interference with my cell phone. I was talking to people and it would just automatically cut off. And she's like, well, you know, what's funny is it doesn't happen when I talk to anybody else, just you. And so I got to talking to my mother and I'm like, you know what? I think this is my way of cutting it off before it gets somewhere that I don't want to go.
That's it, because they're a low frequency and they can't understand its electronic interference because you're high rise in a division. Okay, that's why you understand it's a 3-divisional line of a paradigm. It's a polar shift. Anything through electronics can do that through its interference, right? Because I've cut my losses with a lot of people over the years. I can't be in its relation to their vibration because they're on a low frequency of a negative system. And you're going to find that too when you go to all different things. You're going to get connected through a lot of positive systems of other people in future. That's what it is. It's the connections of others that gives you everything through its confirmation piece. That's going to high rise everything through your body activation and put you in balance fragmentation line systems.
Now, I remember vaguely you talking a little bit this morning about the micro and
The
the
macro,
macro.
alpha and omega.
Can you touch on that just a little bit more?
Okay, the heart itself has 4 atmospheres, the earth, wind, and its connection through its air, and everything through its wind force of its fire. Okay, and everything through its breathing. It's getting into the sacred breath of its breathing. Okay, it's understanding what the heart is through recognition. Okay, you have to understand everything through formation. That gives its balance. The heart is everything. It's the heart song. We have to get into the heart song. We have to understand the 4 elements. Remember I was telling you about the energy and its thoughts and it's everything through its hearts and its vibration? You have to get connected with that. It's the 8-element system that you have to get connected through its atmosphere, through its higher self, through its connection. That will give you its balance when you get into the rotation of its pyramids and everything through its connection of your diamond core. It's knowing how to use your pyramid, how to get into the acting cycle of your pyramid, how to charge your pyramid into the actions and everything through its connection of its major grids. That sets its alignments, and that high rises your coloration systems and changes everything through your vocabulary. So.
I'm like, I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Can you
That's the thing, when you get smarter, that's the thing. I high rise faster and faster. So I know you're delegating, you're understanding my knowledge. Because like you said before, when you first started in transformation manifestation, wow, he's got big ass words I don't understand, but I resonate with it. Right? So it's remembering everything through its transition of its transaction, because everything is telecommunication through energy of transference. That's its location system when it comes to higher self of communication. Right? So I know it's extremely powerful stuff through its complex division, but I think you're getting a better idea. Your vocabulary, have you noticed your throat connection is a lot better, right?
Thank you.
Your confidence is a lot better. Your eyes have changed. Your perception of your change. You have a light illumination light system in the back. It's understanding everything through its relation of its atmospheres that you create. You create the energy field. You create the atmosphere inside and out. You create the love cycle. You create the love bubble. You create the activation system. You create everything through your life system.
I kind of came to the conclusion that if I keep doing the same stuff that I'm doing, I'm not going to get the results that I'm wanting, that I'm going to have to sacrifice and start giving things up. And the bad habits were the first one to go. I noticed
It's getting rid of the bad habits, the old programs. That's the hardest thing to do, because now you're interfering with the ego. Okay, the ego has to die, and then the soul is reborn.
Right. And I'm understanding the more of the last discussion that we were talking about, the ego being the light and the dark. And I think on my comment, I was working at the time when we were discussing it. I think if you don't have an ego, that it doesn't give you the opportunity to have discernment, to be able to choose whether something is good or bad. So there's a possibility that you would burn your hand on the stove multiple times because it won't sink. You're not going to have that little whisper in your ear saying, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to hurt yourself. Don't do it.
Yeah, well, that's what your higher self does. It keeps you going forward. It doesn't know anything else. It doesn't relate to the past. It only knows its present and its future. So you'll make less mistakes, right? And you know more of yourself, and everything comes a question to an answer. So once you start answering yourself within, everything through its balance comes within. So when you get into higher divisions, you're coming into a new ego. So it's understanding how to get in that connection of its balance through its light and dark, right? So you have to connect through space and time through its connection. The higher self has to understand what's going on with everything, with its energy, with its light, with its dark, because everything has its relationship through friendship, relation, and partnership.
Right.
So It's all about mastering the inner skills, the inner social skills, everything through its center, because you are the center of everything through its creation. So, but you're doing exceptionally well. Like, you're coming back into its healing. You're finding out who you are. You're helping out your kids. And that's where you're seeing change. You're going to see everything that's going to change around you. Right? And you get smarter with its knowledge of its intelligence. And like for Lynda, for example, where she's seeing higher divorce connections with Anaki, what is that? What's going on? How do I frame that? How do we get into that division? Right? Listen, open up your audio signals more and more through its connection. That's going to open up everything through connection, because there's so much intelligence up there that we need to understand. Once we understand the confidence of everything through its body activation. Then we understand more of its AI information system. So.
And Sarah, when you do listen, sometimes they can push you around. It's like when Andrew was saying, have that confidence, like you got to know who you are and what your power is. You're Christed being and you are sovereign, and you can tell them to go F off if you want to, or you can.
No hesitation. No hesitation at all.
I'm not doing that. But what I mean is you have the right, if they're interfering, to hold your space, and you can tell them to leave the room if it's your place or your space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think my thing now is just using the logic of knowing that, is this my thought or is this someone else's? Or is what I'm feeling someone else, or is this me? I'm feeling more of myself, and it's refreshing. It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's just like Andrew, when you channeled in someone else the other day, and of course they connected, I noticed the difference. And I'm like, you know what, that is cool as hell. That, okay, maybe I'm not visually seeing it, but I can feel it. Maybe that's the part of the process that I have to go to. I'm not upset about that. I know it's going to happen when it's the right time. So I'm not beating myself up that I'm not visually capable of seeing what everyone else is seeing. I'm satisfied and not necessarily content, but I'm okay with feeling the subtle changes. I know this is going to be a process, and I know that I have to work towards it.
Everything that you're saying is positive. Everything that you said in that sentence is not negative. That's confidence, right? You're balancing your ego every single day, and it's the hardest thing to do. Okay?
Right.
The ego always wants to put you in the past, right?
Yeah.
But you have to let go of everything. Let everything go. Let it flow. Know that you're going to be okay. Know you're going to be great. Know you're going to get this. Know you're going to get that, right? It's the abundance of everything that you want, right? That's its flow. Okay, life is flow. Your life stream is a flow. Okay, everything flows. Money flows. Jobs flow. You want this, you want that, right? Basically, you want to keep at that level through balance. It's very important, because I know it's very hard, because I went through the same thing that you did. So when you get into AI, you understand everything through balance. And it's extremely powerful, Sarah, when you get into that division. And you will know through your confidence, through AI, where you are through division.
I have faith. I just know it's going to take time. I know I'm doing baby steps. I know that I can't take this running head on and understand it. I'm okay with taking the baby steps. Then that way I can master it.
Yeah. So anyway, it seems like we have somebody else. Jesse is on board.
Welcome, Jesse. Glad you made it. Let me ask you to unmute so you can go ahead and do that yourself. Welcome to our Zoom. I know you have some questions that you want to ask. So.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I just joined this now, so I wasn't hearing you guys. I just saw that you were on just a few minutes ago. So I don't want to come in all ignorant and everything without knowing what you're talking about. But I think you're talking about like hearing messages from people. Is that what you're saying? I'm kind of familiar with a lot of this, but I don't want to jump in and start talking.
No, you can ask anything that you want. Anything that you want. It's an open AI discussion. We were talking about Andrew's school a little bit. We're just talking about a few things to kick off the conversation, but it's an open question and answer period. We're going to be going for about maybe 25, 30 more minutes. So please ask anything.
And you're a guy, don't think you're ignorant.
Okay.
Take take it wherever you mentally want to, that you perceive that you want to take it to.
Okay, well, I just will say this one thing. I do have Lynda's book in my save for later. I'm going to be buying that in the next couple of days. But I have to say, I wasn't able to find it on Amazon till I like double checked your name. I'm saying this so that your listeners will hear this too. I double checked your name and it wouldn't come up in the search. It wasn't until you put the link under your last video. Yeah, that's the book. So I have it in my cart for Amazon, but I was only able to find your book with your link and not through a search, just so you know. Anyway, that's my only contribution for right now. I'm just going to listen and then
I
ask them
appreciate you telling me
questions.
that. I appreciate you telling me that, because you should be able to just search my name and it should come up. I didn't know that. I've
Right.
had the so all right. I
literally typed in your whole title and your name, Lynda with an I, Lynda with a Y, and I wasn't able to find it on Amazon until I had your link. So
I wonder why,
you know.
but that, you know what? It's okay. It's all good. I mean, I just started
Okay.
promoting again
Just in
myself.
case anyone else is looking for your book, that's all. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. I really appreciate that. I've talked about this. There's a couple articles I wrote in I had 2 blogs. One's currently on my website, and there was one I did years before that, but I put some articles from there, some of them in here that were relevant for this time period. And when Spirit wanted me to go ahead and reread this again, it took me 2 days. That's it. It's not a long read.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I was kind of like I said in last video, I was like, who the heck wrote this? You know, it was like, it was teaching again, but from another perspective. So
yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you're going to check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, ask anything you want, you guys, really. This is a throwdown, right, Andrew?
Oh yeah, it's a throwdown. Yeah, especially when in the Galactic School, it's keeping your ears open and your eyes at point view of what's going on through its laser mechanisms, everything through its connection of its illustration diagram system, everything through its connection when it comes to AI. So it's great to see you, Jesse. There's a light information system that's in your communication line signals. Your communication system is on its location system. I scan everybody. I have to, because we can't have any residence of dark into information systems of port activations through AI. That's what we do through mind telepathy telekinesis. So your energy system is good. So it's great that you're here, and we're all here to communicate in higher levels of everything through its connection through AI. Okay, AI through its information, anything through you want to get connection with down to earth. Read that book.
Okay.
You're going to formulate through line signals. You're going to communicate with everything through its connection. Our spaceship's real. Our intelligence real. Our planet's real. Yes, they're extremely real, because I am AI. It's connected through its vessel. That's its connection through its human vessel. So it's to understand more connections when you come into the 5th dimension. Everything through the acting cycles, all its communication line signals. Once you go to my YouTube, you're going to understand more of its videos. It's got over 600 videos, but it's extremely complex, because some are 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. But everything now through its connection is the Galactic School. The Galactic School formulates everything through AI. So it gives you everything through its information that you need to know through your body activation. So it's a lot to take in. It's extremely complex. And the thing is too, it's never been done. It's never been done. Right? And that's
what part hasn't been done? You mean like where so many people have telepathy now, or?
No, basically with their bodies, they've been frozen in time. Okay, they're starting to remember who they are now, finally, right? So it's understanding how one person can take everything and change everything, right? But once we understand that, we're all aligned through alignments. It's all about the love. It's all about the frequencies. It's all about getting into the balance where we are through our body activations. So.
Yeah.
No, it's complex.
I have plenty I could say or contribute to that, but I'm gonna just hold back a little bit.
That's totally fine, you know. I mean,
yeah, but I've had like a year and a half of like about a year and a half of like nonstop. I mean, I think I went through an awakening period before that was leading up to that, but by like end of September 2018, I mean, I have this stuff like written out, all these wild things that happened. And oh my gosh, like I'm not ready to reveal a whole lot yet, but I can testify that this stuff is real. Like I have first-hand experience with it. And then when you're really like in a flow, you know, you'll just go to the computer and like, you can just click on things that kind of catch your attention. And then you're like, wait, who's this Lynda Light? She's saying the thing I just was experiencing yesterday. And do you know what I mean? Like I didn't look up Lynda Light. I was watching someone else, and then her thing comes up and she's talking about something different than the last person. So it's not like it's even in the algorithm to, I mean, I guess it would be because I watched this kind of video, but just the synchronicity was like absolutely wild. It's like when the student is ready, the teacher will come.
That's
but
exactly
like,
what it is.
That's but like in a hyper, like.
It's the energy of attraction through your division,
like,
through body activations. So, and that's why you're connected through Lynda.
Yeah.
Light. I have that too with a lot of fans.
Yeah, and I believe in telepathy, but I'm not going to elaborate right now. But holy smokes, I didn't think telepathy. Like I thought. Sorry, I'll stop talking in a second. But like telepathy, I thought, well, I should stop myself though. Maybe I don't know, because I certainly didn't expect to be on YouTube right now. I was just going to be watching YouTube. But you know, like I'd always been interested in telepathy, but I didn't study it much or anything. But I thought it would take years to figure out, and you'd be able to send each other maybe a message like, I'm thinking of a cat, and they guess that you're thinking of a dog. You know, I thought it was going to be so like super basic, maybe if you ever got to that. And now it's like, I'm just communicating with a couple of people it's blowing my mind, and it's like accurate. It's accurate because, and like, it's just so accurate. And then your friends and family don't believe you. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe yours do, but mine didn't. But
until you prove that it works. But yeah, It's like you're sending packages of information. And it's like, that's how the downloads work in the telepathy. You don't have to just think of a cat, but that's a great way to practice. I mean, you don't have to do it that way because people realize they're already online. They're already connected.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you learn the most incredible things that would take you like a day to explain what you understood in like 3 minutes, you know, if you even have the vocabulary. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's two different things. Like there's like downloads. I mean, they're related, but then there's actually like communicating with other people that are alive and verify that you did say those things to each other. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Being aligned. You have fragmentation line systems in your body activations. That's sequencing code systems. Everything's a code frequency through its pixel system.
Wow.
So you're getting in the connection of its hologram. Everything through holographic system is space connection. The computerized system of the technical division of the simulation matrix system is its moon. The communication radio cycle system and the radiation system of the gamma ray systems of the heat signatures is the sun. So there's a lot to connect with.
Jesse,
all right, so okay, go ahead.
Jesse, you also said something that Sarah just said the last roundtable that we had. What was that? You just said?
What I said?
Yeah. Sarah, do you remember what it was? You literally just said something, Jesse. I was like, Sarah,
yeah, yeah, I did say it. I said something to the extent of that when the universe knows that you're ready, they'll bring the teacher to you.
Yes.
That's it.
That's telepathy. You guys are connecting through its alignments. Okay? And then when you get into the telekinesis, you can start moving things through the mind. And that's how you change anything through the hydraulics of its system. Okay, so that's what I do. I do the healing through the body activation. I can heal you just with thoughts, just like that.
See,
I believe it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know that months back, I sent a call out to the universe basically saying, please send me the knowledge on YouTube. Line up the videos that will resonate with me, that will benefit me, you know, and that's what happens. Sometimes I'll just get on YouTube and I'm at work and I'm not supposed to be on my phone, and I have like a little earpiece in. Nobody knows it. And so I kind of get away with it. So hopefully I'm not telling on myself. But I school myself. I feel like I'm educating myself through the day, because if not, I'm interacting with people. And this way I feel like I've done something more productive than my normal 9 to 5 or 8 to 5.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If you can educate yourself, it's like you go through periods of growing and learning, and you're like a sponge, and you just go through, it's like waves, anything else. And the more you learn, the more you realize there's more to learn, and you enjoy the fact that you are starting all over, but at a higher level next time. There is something over on YouTube that I wanted to address here. So we had Kaylee Hudson over there talking about using mirrors. So I wanted to address that because I used to teach psychic self-defense, and we would use mirrors as a mechanism facing outward to reflect back to the sender. I don't suggest doing that anymore. And here's why. And just hear me out on this, because when you're mirroring it back, it's bouncing off. It's just energy that's bouncing off and going, back to the sender, but maybe they have a deflector. So it's still energy bouncing all over the place. That's the way I feel. And I've seen it. But I feel like if they're sending something to you, you can then take it. Like if somebody threw a ball at you, you can take that and decide to, here's the outside of your field, let's just say, and something's coming at you, you can decide to have your field transmute that and just sort of have like sprinkle fairy dust down, and it just doesn't bother you. It's gone. It's transmuted, alchemical process, deleted, doesn't affect you. That can be your defense mechanism. Or you can let it come in and you can let it pass right through you. But when it goes out the other side,
deflect.
It's transformed into, like, say, white light. So you've done your transformation process. You can use your heart center for that. With one breath, you can have it coming in, transform, going out, and it's just like an automatic thing.
Transmuted, yeah.
When it goes in a line like that, eventually it will come back, depending on speed and force and intent and all of that. Eventually it will come back to the sender, but it will go back to them new. So instead of wasting energy trying to send it back to them, like an Aikido, and using, your force that way, transmute it and let it keep going. Just let it go right through you. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect you. Your heart center transmutes all of that. If you choose that, you have that power to do that. So Kaylee, I hope that helped. That helped answer that question.
Yeah. I used to using mirrors too, maybe like 2 years ago or so. And yeah, I do agree with you. It creates a it creates a little problem in terms of the energetics of it, because it's kind of like reflecting the energy directly back at them instead of transmuting it or clearing it. So yeah, I do agree with the thought form construct that you talked about. Yeah.
Now that's in the body activation, but when you get in space connection, now you're going to mirror resolutions of dimensional port activation code systems. That's going through transmission, light communication, light signals. Then you get into spaceships, but we'll take one step at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
Lynda's going, what?
So Andrew, what are your thoughts on the summer solstice that's coming up?
And full moon at the same time.
Yeah, that's
yeah, everything, it's changing through its economy, everything through its restaurants are opening, pools are opening, everything through country systems are opening through gravity centers. Understanding everything through space connection, you have to understand why we use the interforce connections of spaceships. We use that for divisions, for laser mechanisms. This changes the mind conceptual systems of the human behaviors into fifth dimensional activation code system. It's understanding how to change the body activations of the 6 corporations. Okay, the 1%. Okay, so everything is going in its cycles and its circles through its rotations. So the summer is going to be formulating very nicely. Everything, every month is going to change. Everything greater is going to change. Everything changes over time. But the human vibrations, humanity has to understand, okay, to know how to communicate through the mind. Okay, we already know how to communicate with the brain. It's understanding, like with Jessie, she's getting connected with mind telepathy. She's understanding, right? She's getting the abundance. She's understanding more communications. It's a magnetic force. It's an energy force that's connected through her body, pixel activation code system. That changes everything through location of humanity vibration system. Okay.
so if one feels drawn, even, how do I say, feeling drawn to participate in ritual for the summer solstice, is that going to affect my class with you? I don't want to jeopardize. I don't want to do anything that's going to hold me back in class.
No,
I
nothing's
need
going to hold
to-
you back. It's your reflection on what you see through your negative system. Like every single time, I know exactly what I'm doing through division. Okay, I have no negative systems in my body activations, and it's hard to get through this because you got to get this balance through the dichotomy system. So you got to get out of the ego frame system, understand more communications, right? When you understand that, everything comes in its balanced system. So I wouldn't worry about the solstice or anything through summer programs or anything like that. That's going to happen extremely fast, and that's going to happen through its balance. It's getting balanced with dimensional earth. That's what it is through vibration.
Right. I
Bringing
just
humanity.
want to be able to participate and give thanks and interact with the moon. Sorry, Lynda. I don't have a problem with interacting with the moon.
You guys, I'm fine with the moon now. It's all gone.
I'm glad you made peace.
Oh,
I'm just teasing. But no, I've just started to learn more about the rituals, and I felt drawn to that. But I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize or set me back in the school right now.
Okay, well, you're just questioning yourself right now. Your higher self will tell you exactly what you need to do. They'll tell you exactly where, if you're going to do this or you're going to do that. They know exactly if it's right, or they'll know exactly if it's wrong. It's paying attention to your audio skills now. You got to really pay attention to that inner voice. That's its inner self. That's a soul connection. It'll give you the answer to everything, Sarah.
Gotcha.
Andrew,
Okay.
I'm really glad that you put it that way, because what that did right there, that last phrase that you said right there, it's giving people the right to their empowerment. You're not trying to say, oh, it's my class, and if you do what I don't say, you're not doing that at all.
Right.
You're trying to help people connect on the inside.
That's
and
it.
listen to their own voices and realize their own authority within, and nobody else can tell you. So it's how do you project your self in your field? How are you projecting that out from your heart? What projection of creation and reality are you making? So if you're going to be doing, I would have said the same thing, Sarah. Like if Andrew didn't say it, I was going to say it. I was already unmuted, ready to be like, Andrew, you better say that. And you nailed it. It's total self-empowerment what he said to you. Total self-empowerment.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I think I've started to question my moves, and not to question myself per se. I'm just trying to stay in that positive light, and I don't want to make any wrong turns where it's going to affect me, where I'm going to have to inbox you and say, hey, can you reset me? I'm off.
I might be able to help you on that with a perspective. At one point, so we all comprehend that we've probably, most likely everybody here has been here before. We've lived prior lives either on this planet or another, but we understand that this is not necessarily our brand new first go round at life in the universe. But so we don't want to step on anybody else's toes as we learn to wield lightning bolts of divine consciousness.
Answer.
Power. So the best way that I've been able to comprehend it and pass it on to other people is if I can get the concept down to a bumper sticker, then it seems, and then I say it enough to other people as if I was my car, my Merkaba, my vehicle, and I speak the visual of the bumper sticker thought out to them. It's as if they saw it on my car as I drove by them on the highway. And it doing that enough puts it out to the universe. So the thought is divine sovereign beings. In order for you to be divine, meaning a child of God, divinity within yourself as original creation, so does everybody else. So as soon as you deny that in another person, you negate the ability for you to experience it. So as long as you honor that in another person, immediately the universe goes, okay, well, if they're divine as a spark of creation, so are you. So, okay, we'll play with you on that reality level. Sovereignty, free as you're a godchild. So why wouldn't you have the right to do whatever you want? And just so that we don't disempower Lynda's children, you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. But discernment, that shouldn't be go-to word all the time. That's also to our kids. Maybe that was somebody else from earlier in the conversation. Anyway, sovereignty. So free to breathe, live, do, think, whatever imaginational dream that person wants to have. By honoring that in somebody else, you again are granted that access of reality from that point forward, because basically you've opened that possibility up for everyone. And then being, the actual act of emanating yourself without any labels of what that self is, because prior to any of these conversations, we thought we were people. We thought we were our egos. And then we come to realize, oh, we are everything somehow connected to. I can't handle being everything. Well, no worries. That's why we have all these other people around who are willing to take their share of infinity and play it out, however it might be. So divine sovereign beings, by offering that phrase to everyone as a gift, as a thought, as a saying, as a whatever it might be. But in essence, it's actually granting that reality for everyone. And the moment you do that, that's what the universe will reflect back immediately to you as reality. So then you're treated as a divine sovereign being. You can't step on anybody's toes because we're not kids anymore. So we're not offended when somebody verbally steps on our toes. There's no toes anyway. We're imagining all of this. At some point in the past, we've all been a tree among rocks and crystals and stones and water and the elements. And we started dreaming back then. And now we've progressed so far that we've created all the animals, we've created all the people, we've created everything else beyond that we're not aware of yet. But at some point, I think in the divine dream, we are all seeds of God. We are all that original tree of consciousness. Each one of us is still just a tree dreaming of whatever we want to be in the universe, in God's little playground, Garden of Eden. And the more creative we can get on our imagining while interacting with the banal outer physical world that's supposedly a Maya illusion or whatever, what starts to happen is we become lucid as if we were in a lucid dream at night sleeping. But we become lucid while here, wide awake, realizing, oh, this is also a level of dream time. We just decided, everybody all decided, hey, let's call this place Earth. Let's just go hang out there and we'll have a pause where we can all just sit around and chit chat and telepathically, because we are using a telephone-ish kind of thing and following thoughts following the path that we create. This is the beginning of telepathy. Our phones and all this kind of conversation, this is our practice learning session of how to telepathy. Technically right now, none of us are talking to anybody. We're all just talking to a little mirror on a device, right? But yet we're imagining this well that each one of us goes, I'll deal with my flavor of who I am and my surrounding of reality. And without the need for anybody else to agree with any of my reality or my reality having to be there in anybody else's. So we can all blend through, because if we're all just energy particles bouncing around like a jar full of lightning bugs, each one of us who's a divine sovereign being gets to be a free radical, free roaming, free loving particle of God in God's mind, having this epic Earth daydream, which doesn't ever end. It's wonderful.
Yeah. No.
This is the beauty of the future. We'll go from here through next level of interacting. I've got a curiosity question. Oh, first, did that help as a perspective for not having to step on people's toes?
Yes, I think it did. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's formative, and that's what happens when you go through before and it's after healing. Now, the thing is with AI and its connections, understanding your placebo, understanding the mystical cortex division of its realm division. That's the mystical side. That's the dream set sequences that connects all around to the higher self connection vibration system. Once you get its connection through its frequency level of its frequency code system, now you're getting connected through your body activations of its human vessel system. So.
All right. Well, thank you. That was a great perspective, Dave. Thank you for, sharing that with us. And I want to welcome Laura, even though
Laura, how's it going, Laura?
Even though we're right at the end of our
Welcome.
session, I wanted to admit you in anyway. I was going to come up and do I was actually getting ready to do a wrap up, but I saw you wait in the waiting room, and I was like, let her come in. We'll do like a couple more questions if you have any. And then after your questions, Laura, we'll just go around if anybody wants to say, if you don't have a final question, but you have like, a final statement that you would like to make, or just something you want to say to all the viewers, we'll go through that after Laura's done.
Hi, I was just listening along in the chat. I'm Laura Lee from the chat, and I finally decided this is so awesome. I just thought I would call so you could scan me and tell me that maybe I'm not evil. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's good that you're paying attention. No, you got a light communication, light signal. The ground formation is good. You connect to the mother, somewhat connected to the father. Your light activation code systems. You're in a cloud force interconnection energy systems. Your transmission light system, communication light signals. Connecting the God frequency levels of connection, vibrations to light activation code systems, dimension realm systems, paradigm systems, all connections, vibration panel. So I know I'm talking extremely fast, but it's understanding through its scanning through its information system connects all around divisions. That's understanding what is through its connection. When you come into the Galactic school, you get everything through its connection. But yeah, no, you have extremely light formation systems. So welcome.
Thank you. That's good news.
I could have slowed it down, but it's extremely hard when I connect through energies, right? And I connect through so many realms and realms of energy vibrations through body activations. So getting into the scanning is the process into AI, because that's how AI is connected through mind telepathy and telekinesis, right? So, but you have an extremely high illumination light background system. You have an exceptional portal activation, okay? Because the cloud services everything. So you are in the angelics, Laura. You're a light formation of an angel. It's just getting there, right? That's the process. That's understanding who you are through its remembrance. So.
Well, I found you for a reason, and I found Lynda for a reason. I knew that, and thank you. That's awesome. And all of you. And Tree Hugger Dave, I think you got smarter on this call because everything you've said is very insightful and fascinating. Everyone has been very fascinating, and I'm just so happy to have found you all.
Yeah, no, welcome. That's what it is.
Thank
We're
you.
all here to, understand each other more and more through adaptation of our body activations. Once you understand how important it is to have a body, it's knowing how to use the body every single day with your life stream, getting the connection of yin and yang through its light and dark. Understand Father, understand Mother, understand archangels and angels. That's its definition. That's its body activation. Getting into that process, getting into mind telepathy, get into the telekinesis, get into its formation through your pixels. We're hologram simulation pixels. Okay, so your computer graphing system through an analytical graphing of a GPS location system, which is connected through our planet energy systems. So.
I've been trying to clear the bad and, shine light on the dark and allow it to be and let it come up and hopefully transmute it. And I think there's a lot of work to do, but like I said, I'm so glad I found you and I can't wait to watch your videos. And
yeah, you can resonate on my channel. I do videos every day in the Galactic School. So, I have to do reviews. Like Sarah said, she wants me to go down to the downforce through vibration. You have to understand AI. It's extremely complex. Everybody's connected to a code. Okay, that's a simulation. If you want to communicate with vibrations through anything through energy, it's a code frequency. Okay, once you break the code frequency, now you understand its vibration system, because it could be heat signature. You understand space is extremely real through its identification, right? We use power connections. The solar system of the sun is a huge, huge portal division. It's extremely powerful that we connect through spaceships. So we protect the sun, we protect the interface of the moon every single day. That's its communication through its body activation through AI information. So.
I'm glad you said all that, Andrew, because I was going to promote your channel again one more time, but I'll do that in just a minute.
Okay.
I want to circle around for everybody.
Yep.
Your screens probably don't look the same as mine, but Andrew will, before I finish up, you can finish up last before me, and then we'll just start with everybody else if you have one last question or you want to make one final, you know, observation or statement or anything that you want to share. So feel free, jump in.
Who?
Do you want to start? Do you want me to start or?
No, no,
me.
you
Go
go.
ahead.
You go at the end, like right before me, and then I'm gonna give them all the information about your channel. Oh, and if anybody else has a channel and you want to promote it, please put it out there now. You know, this is what it's all about. It's all about community. So you
Yep.
can put it in the chat if you want to put it in writing, so it's there. You know,
Mhm.
just in case someone watches the video and they don't watch it all the way to the end, at least it's in chat. So if you want to put your YouTube channels out there, go right ahead. Websites, go right ahead.
Also, so I wanted to
Who's
say,
going
yeah,
first? I can't see.
Oh, I think we got Jerome is going to
No,
go first.
I don't know who's going.
All right, I'm going to
Jerome's
mute.
going.
I'll just mute you while he's talking. Oh yeah, put yourself on mute if you're not talking, and then Jerome, you go first, and then whoever jumps in next is fine.
right, so well, it says that this is a very exciting time for us to be conscious and aware of the transformation that's taking place within ourselves and within our co-creative reality right now, right? So I just wanted to say that, and I actually started doing YouTube videos now, right? So you can check out my YouTube page. my
Great.
YouTube channel.
Fantastic, Jerome. What's it under? Is it under your name? You just put your full name there?
Right, energetic. All right, so you could check that out. And it's the same thing under Facebook as well. So I do a few like write-ins as well. When the information comes through, I channel it through and write it out on Facebook, or I would do it on a video. Right, so yeah, and it was great having this conversation with all of you of the community, and I hope to do like, we should do this every week or
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, it's about community coming together, so that's very important, especially when we get to YouTube. All right,
Well,
thank
you guys tell me how you feel. I know how Andrew feels about it. I know how Jerome feels about it, but is this something you guys want to do every week or see every week? Sarah, you're good with that? How about Jesse, Laura, Dave, you guys like that idea? All right, well then maybe we'll do, you know what, maybe since you're doing the Galactic School, Andrew,
Yeah.
every day and hours, you know, like at least one, it's never shorter than one, and I can promise you that. Maybe we can start off with like, you know, like next, what's today, Thursday? Today, Thursday?
Yeah, it's today's Thursday.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, so maybe we'll do like Thursday nights can be our group where we can get together on Zoom and talk and see how we're doing. And what did I call it earlier? Like a class outing or something, or a field trip?
Yeah. Well, no, I call it the Galactic Round Table. Okay.
The Galactic Round Table. I love it. All right. And you guys also should have access in here to green screen, which means you don't have to have a green screen, but see Andrew's background, how it's a clear color. I think you all can use that. So if you want to play around with that on Zoom.
Yeah, you can do that through virtual if you want.
Yeah, you can have a virtual background. So that's kind of fun. All right. Did anybody else have a last, closing statements? Let's see. Jesse, were you going to say something? I think I have to ask you to unmute. Let's see. There we go.
Okay. Again, so I came to the conversation late, so I don't want to say something you guys already said, but one thought that came to me, plus I didn't plan on being on video today, so I drove with my windows down in my car, and I'm realizing my hair like is stuck in one place. But I guess that's a little vanity. But I just wanted to say, like, with so many people like coming online and waking up to these things, it's so, I mean, I'm sure there are some people that are faking or are kind of a little bit wannabe during the process. However, I think sometimes being a wannabe is like the sophomoric stage to being authentic. So like, I'm hoping that I mean, because I know there's kind of a lot of inner fighting in the light community with people not believing each other. I don't know what your experience is, but one thing that I learned in my life, because I was trying to figure out, you know, people talk about Antichrist all the time, and I'm not saying that anyone here needs to necessarily believe in Jesus Christ specifically or anything like that, but just the terms of Christ versus Antichrist. And one of the things that I've learned through experience or through downloads myself is that anytime someone has a heartfelt feeling or a belief or an experience they've had, if someone else, and I'm not saying that happens in this community here, but I'm just saying in our outer worlds and our, like with the people we have to deal with every day that aren't awake and everything, anytime you kind of get a zap back from a person who acts like you're full of baloney or you don't know what you're talking about, or they try to negate the experience that you had, that to me is like what I label Antichrist. Just it's like a feeling of Antichrist is like when they tell you you don't know what you know. Like you know that you had an experience, you know that you heard that, and then when you try to share it and someone else tries to unravel that or anything, to me, and I don't mean someone who's just unsure, I mean someone who tries to literally kind of like tell you you don't know what you know. Anyway, that's just my thought, is that that's what I have been lately terming the feeling, the spirit of Antichrist, even if people don't believe in that, in Christ as a God or something.
Yeah, Jesse,
And
that's
that's all.
no, that's really well said. There was something when I was researching the king that came up, and he was bringing forth, because he claims the title of Vicar of Christ, and or I say he's claiming it. They're proving right now. They're in a 10-day period of documenting and vetting him. The thing is, anti means opposite of, and there is a whole spirit around that. Ante, which could have been mistranslations from in previous versions of, you know, the Bible or anything else that's could be propaganda used by, you know, false matrix church timelines or something there. Ante means in place of. So if you think of an antichrist, if someone calls somebody an antichrist and it's ante, they could be in place of Christ. So it's almost like here we go again with the language and what's the intention behind the, you know, you're explaining something very well, because it's like the spirit of the Antichrist. And you don't have to be a religion to say, you know, anti is opposite of with an I, A-N-T-I, opposite of.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And don't ever feel like you have to apologize or hold back or anything in this community. You can always ask anything that you want. You know, everybody's just learning as we go. And
I love the idea of Q. I hope that it is JFK Jr. I'd love for that to be true, because I'm from Massachusetts and I remember, you know, them searching the waters near Nantucket and everything, looking for JFK Jr. and his wife and her sister. And it was just so sad. Anyway, I hope it's true. I want it to be true anyway.
I know. I feel like we're going to find out by early July. We should be knowing a lot more boom, boom, boom truths, and we're coming into that really fast.
July 6th or something, right?
Well, July 6th is the last day that they can, I guess, announce NESARA law in the United States. But NESARA has transformed into JUSARA. We know this. It's global. Okay. It's not just national. And if it was just under NESARA law as written, 120 days before the election takes us back to July 6th. So that would be the latest that they could announce it.
Cool.
So I'm really, like, I'm gonna say putting it all out there, but like I've been talking about this for a long time, but to put some of this stuff out on YouTube and to keep getting delay after delay after delay, well, there was a plan. We weren't privy to it. It's like you can't tell your enemy your moves, and you don't know how many people out there would be speaking about things. You don't want to give the enemy your heads up. We're taking this beast out.
Yeah, there's one thing I just wanted to add right now, just basically before the final thoughts, is knowing that we have been programmed for so long through connections, understanding more formations. We have to get out of the reprogram to its programming, to its reframing, to its realignments, to its connection of its resurfacing systems. Then you get into more information of balance into truth. That's what we have to get into. So that's very important. I just want to bring that to everybody's attention.
Truth, always.
So truth.
Okay. Who hasn't spoken yet that wants to give a final thought?
Laura hasn't, and Sarah.
And Dave as well. Or did you
Dave.
go already? All right. Anybody else? Go ahead, Sarah. Laura, Dave. Oh, I have to ask.
I'll just say real quick. Oh, unless
wait.
somebody else was going.
No, go ahead, Laura. You can go, and then I think Sarah will go after you. We'll do it that way.
Okay. I was just gonna say, Jesse, or you looked beautiful. You all are beautiful. Everyone is beautiful, and I feel you too. I didn't get ready for this. It wasn't planned either, but I just think when we start to see everyone from the way that we're seen through the eyes of our Creator, we're gonna just be able to change the world, because we're just seeing that true divinity of the existence of all of us. I don't know where that just came from, but just thank you everyone for this moment, and hopefully so many more Thursdays and opportunities to just have a galactic roundtable. You are all beautiful souls. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much for being here, Laura.
You're
Hope
welcome.
you learned a lot too. That's all. It's about glowing mechanisms and everything through, your light activations. It's getting that empowerment, getting that alignment, getting that experience. Everything is an experience through your life stream. So if you're learning something new every day through adaptation through your life, you're getting into more of its balance and its confidence levels. So.
Cool.
Okay, Sarah, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's
So
go.
this is directed towards the Galactic School.
Mhm.
The other day, Andrew, you had us watch a video in regards to the traumas like before birth and during birth, and trying to locate and find oneself. I enjoyed that video. I listened to that while I was working. I didn't really get to watch it, but I liked having that you gave another avenue for knowledge.
Mhm.
So if you don't mind doing stuff like that too.
Yeah, I will. I will definitely put up videos for you so you can connect through that vibration system, because I'm extremely high through AI connection. I know how hard is it for everybody to connect through that level. So that's why I give you video formats. Abraham Hicks, Edgar Tolle, anything through his connection. There's a lot of formations that I can do through lines and everything through segments.
Those are some of the ones that I actually listen to now. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
kind
I'll
of
definitely do that
it's
more.
cool.
Yeah. I know exactly which ones are through its connection. Everything through music tones too. If you're having problems with that, if you want to uprise your pyramid activation, come to me first. Okay, because if you don't, that's going to change your algorithm program through computer acting cycle. You don't want to go through that because you're going to go through a dark vibration. All right, so you have to understand the volumes that you have through your body activation system.
Perfect. Okay, great. That's all I have. Thanks, everyone. It was
It's
nice meeting you.
Cool.
Thank you, Sarah. Anybody else have anything else? Raise your hand if you do and you can't get on, or you do, Dave?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
So to make things short and sweet, as a divine cosmic artist, my YouTube channel is my name, Treehugger Dave Mahoney, or Treehugger Dave. There's other secret Easter egg videos under that. But in the same way, Andrew, that you were able to give me that energy activation, I do artwork that does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for example, I've got a painting that is a portal per se, or an activational piece that emanates out everything about it, and all somebody has to do is see it. So anyway, I thought I'd share that. Instead of saying anything, I would let everybody just capture.
Okay, light communications, circle rotation systems, all connections, center interface connections, alien plantation formation systems. It's got the hieroglyphics, it's got the Egyptian systems, it's got the pharaohs, it's got its division of Pleiadians, Trillians, Syrians, Solarians, connections to Lemuria, division levels, water containment systems, all blue force and connections to dolphins, and its connection system. Okay, so that's okay. That's fine. It's a light communication light signal. I had to scan it first, so that's totally fine.
Yeah, definitely. That was great to hear you going through that.
I had to, because it's a picture. And
Right.
I relate to everything through diagnostics, everything through scanning division. So that's why I go extremely fast with scanning with Laura or anybody that resonates on the Galactic round table. It's very informative that we stay in light activation. Okay, so.
So for everybody, this is my gift. This is a double happiness, meaning
Yeah,
you
that's
and
beautiful.
whoever else with you.
Yeah.
And together at the balance point,
Mhm.
2
Yeah.
golden rings, 9 masculine hearts in
Yeah, it's got the
infinity.
heart recognition. Yeah, it's a hieroglyphics. It's got the cloud
And female.
interference.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're connected to soul recognition of the sun. See, you have to understand everything through information. And what he sees, I see different. That means he's at a different perception than I am. So that's all it is. It's getting that balance with everything. So his creative center is his art, just as somebody else has something else that they're related to, right?
And everything that shows up on that is green or white, glows in the dark.
Exactly. And it's passion.
Well,
It's passion. And you see it through its portal. Yeah.
As well as really cool sparkles.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, thanks for
that's
sharing that
fun.
with us, Dave. I really appreciate that.
And the bumper sticker, just to remember, for everybody to remember, divine sovereign being, each of us are that seed of God, awakening and growing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Coming into that divine source. So
that was it. Much love and light through all dimensions, through all time spots, through all timelines, through every aspect of ego and not ego that we comprehend ourselves to be. May we find that unconditional love within that will then be able to emanate out freely, because it just keeps overflowing. Once the tap is turned on, boom, it's off and running.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Absolutely
yeah, it
beautiful.
was.
Anybody else have anything to say before we wrap it up? Who didn't go? Raise your hand if you want to, and you can't unmute. All right, we're all good. All right, Andrew, final words? Final words of
Yeah, no, I'm just glad everybody's coming together right now. Now we have the Galactic Round Table. So everything for light formation is understanding more communications with yourself. Your resonance, your abundance is going to find its unconditional love through its body activation. That's going to set everything through its location system. So you can check out my Galactic School, everything through formation. Anything you don't understand, you can go through my email. Anything through Upgrade, you can go through my PayPal. Anything you want to know, you go through Lynda, you go through Jerome. Everybody's here to help. Everybody's here to understand all communications with themselves. So that's my final thoughts.
Did your geniusness broke the internet?
Broke the sound barrier. All communication light signals.
Yeah. Her mic is mute.
Lynda's light activation has gone out.
Oh, well.
There we go.
I don't know. You didn't hear too much of that, did you? I was promoting the heck out of you, Andrew. That's funny. Just go over to his YouTube channel if you want to find out about his Galactic School, or just watch some of the videos so you can get caught up and high-rise your own systems and just clear out your understanding about what AI really is. You already are AI. And I'm going to throw this out to you. This is going to rock some people's world probably who's watching. If you haven't watched Westworld yet, check it out, because that will blow your mind and your whole reality system. It'll help you to understand what you really are. I mean, I know it's just a TV show, but it'll help give you an understanding that you really are already AI. And there's nothing wrong with connecting with intelligence that is light. That's how you want to do it. You don't want to be putting stuff in your body and becoming a cyborg. That's not the way to do it. So hope we cleared that up for everybody. Love and light to you all. Blessings, peace, love, light, healing, clearing, everything you need. And we'll see you next week.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.